Hello everybody, Joe Tactical here again. Just wanted to share with you a video on the very popular, infamous Mechanix gloves. Okay, I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, and I know I always say that, but I'm really going to try with this. Alright, these gloves are great. They're about 20 bucks. You know, I was in Pep Boys the other day and I saw the black on black, so I was like, oh cool, you know. Usually I would have to order them or something to get the specific colors because they never seem to have the colors that I want. But you know, the other day it was the black. I saw the black on black and I was like, all right, I'll pick them up real quick. And for 20 bucks, you know, you don't have to pay shipping if you're there and picking them up and everything. But I like these gloves a lot, and I kind of look at them as a standard, at least for the shooting and mechanical world. This Mechanix brand has been out for a very long time, and I actually used to get the blue ones with the white lettering. I used to get those, and as far as I can tell, maybe a little bit of design changes, but it's pretty much the same glove. I have a lot of experience with that glove. I mean, to the point where, you know, your fingers are all worn out of it, and it's all stained up from grease stains and oil stains and, you know, air tool oil on them and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've had a lot of experience with these, and these gloves are awesome. And let me touch a little bit on the automotive side with these. These gloves are made for working on, you know, heavy trucks and automotive and, you know, cars and everything else, to be exposed to those chemicals, which make it awesome because the designers have it in mind that it's going to be exposed to chemicals, and at least the best of my knowledge, they are semi-chemical resistant. Okay, this is just from experience. I didn't look at no chart and read it. This is just from experience. It's like if they're going to be around oil and transmission fluid and coolant and stuff like that, you know, maybe not so much battery acid or brake fluid, but any other fluid in a car, these are really resistant and will hold up well. Also, abrasions and maybe some heat, you know, if you're around the manifolds or something like that. It's definitely a very good way to protect your hands. Okay. Also, let me touch base on this a little bit too. See, me with gloves, I have a couple little philosophies for gloves. Alright, first of all, I don't like wearing gloves. I hate it, okay? The reason why I would wear gloves would mainly either be for concealment. You know, if you're wearing all black and you got your hands gleaming in the darkness, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose. So if you're going for concealment, you need gloves, or, you know, if you're wearing multicam, you get some multicam or some tan gloves or something like that, which the tan Mechanix gloves are awesome too. They just, you know, they're not multicam, but for what they are and the quality that you get. Because if you Google, like, multicam gloves, you're going to have to pick from maybe half a dozen. I could be wrong on that number. I'm just throwing it out there. And they might not be to the quality level these are. Hey, if they're tan with a little bit of black on them, they'll work for multicam for my uses, okay? So that's where I'm at with that. But another thing would be, if you sustain an injury to your hand, okay, and, you know, you're in an emergency situation, you're doing whatever you need to do, whether it be a tactical situation or just on the job. You ain't got time to go to the first aid kit and clean your wound out with antibacterial, antiseptic, and then put Neosporin and wrap it with a pretty Band-Aid. I'm sorry, but in the working world, at least for me, that ain't how it flies, okay? You just grab some duct tape or electrical tape and just wrap it up. I mean, if you're bleeding real bad, like when I had my knuckle gashed out and I had to get 14 stitches, that's a little different, okay? But as far as, you know, you got a real bad cutter on there or whatever, you just electrical tape it up. Always keep that handy. Electrical tape it up and slide it in the gloves, and it's protected. You'll deal with it later because you're on the job. You know what I mean? You got to get this done. So, excuse me. Still trying to get rid of bronchitis, guys. You know, it was like in Predator when Jesse Ventura was like, "I ain't got time to bleed." So that's where it's at. I mean, the reality of the world. But also, if you did want, let's say you were doing stuff where you were handling your firearms and doing this and doing that, you can build up a lot of calluses, and at that point, if they start breaking, now you're compromising your training because your hand can't grip the same way. So in certain situations, if you're going to be doing a lot of it, I would use gloves to protect it. I mean, if you're shooting all day, you're probably going to need gloves, okay? And my hand's pretty tough, but I would still, if I was shooting all day, I would probably have gloves on. But I would also be taking them off any chance I got, too. So that's where I'm at with that philosophy. Now let me just run through the little like specs or whatever, the construction on this glove. The strap itself is like this rubberized. I really like the look of it, and I like the feel of it, and also it creates more than just a strap. It's a somewhat level of padding for your wrist area, which I like that. It's not too much. It's not like, excuse me, it's not like all these gloves you see today with all the plastic crap all over the knuckles, like everybody's going to punch through a car window or something. I don't really get it. But at least for my needs. I mean, some people might have uses for that kind of stuff. Me, I don't want to spend $50 on a pair of gloves that's just going to get ripped up because I use them. You know what I'm saying? So, but if I had the need for it, I would understand and have the need for it. I don't. But on the palm, or the inside of the hand, if you will, it has kind of a synthetic material. I don't know if it's a synthetic or a suede material. I don't know if it's a synthetic suede, like an imitation suede, or real suede. I don't really care. I don't intend on getting this all too wet, but I know these gloves can take it to a certain level. Okay? And also, the inside webbing of the fingers themselves actually have a breathable material, which is really cool. Now these are a warmer glove to wear, but for the protection, they ventilate very well. So this is kind of like, I don't know, the hybrid of glove. Okay, and really there seems like a lot of research and development in this design, because it seems like a reality. You know, somebody that's not designing these gloves on paper, but somebody that understands the use of gloves and how it affects, you know, your work performance or whatever. I mean, when you put these on, you can do whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? And they definitely offer a very good level of protection. And when I was wrenching, I used to get the blue. This little like spot right here was blue, and then the lettering, the logo, was white. So I have a lot of experience with these gloves, like mainly wrenching, not so much tactical use, but you want to put something through the test. You work on cars with it for a while, and you really learn the gear. Excuse me, sorry guys. Yeah. Okay, let me touch base on this a little bit. This Velcro here, it's not like your standard, like old style Velcro. I kind of want to call this type of Velcro the next generation or new generation Velcro. It just seems a lot more finer, and I really like it. It's not too wild and crazy, but it doesn't sacrifice anything with the grip. So I really like that as well. And also, this little like binding here, or cordage, or whatever you want to call it, it's good and bad. I'll tell you that right now. It's good and bad. If you're working on cars and your hand is in a fender, or you know, you're reaching around, and a lot of these newer vehicles these days are you know, front wheel drive, and everything's jammed in the front and everything, and the motor's sideways, and you got to reach your hand in. This could get caught on stuff and be a problem. But in the same aspect, this could protect your hand as well. Like if you're pulling on a wrench or something like that, or a ratchet, and you slip, that's providing a level of protection. So I would say, for the most part, I like that. Okay, for the most part. Now, the second you get it caught in something and it tears your glove or something, you're going to be a little upset about it, but at least it wasn't your hand. But again, you know, it depends on what your use is. And for a shooting glove or a tactical glove, these things are awesome. And I really understand why it's a standard almost for not just me, but everybody else that's, you know, in the the community gun shooting world, or whatever you want to call it. So that's just my take on it. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to drop me a line. I'll do my best to answer them. And also, I encourage suggestions. Because it's like I always say, let's all learn from each other. I'm sharing this video with you guys, and any input that you want to share with me, I welcome that in a big way. Because like I said, let's all learn from each other. Life's a learning journey, you know what I mean? So thank you very much for watching. Joe Tactical out.